Good day everyone, I'm Jonathan Tyler, I'm the Head of Agricultural Science. We're going to start by asking ourselves a few very important questions. Question number one, have you eaten today? Anything? Have you sat at a desk? Have you seen a tree, a plant or a flower? Farmers have played a part in your everyday life and you didn't even know it yet. Do you want to make a positive contribution to people's lives every day? Or do you want to ask yourself this every day? How did I ever become this awesome? Will you fight a fire all night and then be up for work early the next morning? I spoke to a man this weekend who's a farmer, and he was up fighting from 12 until 4, and his kids had a gathering that they had to go to by 6 o'clock, so very, very important. Will you keep your head up in the face of hardship? Losing everything, will you still smile? Will you embrace change? Not many of us have seen cattle that look like this. I don't think there's any in the country at all. Will you be the farmer that farms with these? Will you move with the times using the latest technology? That is a tractor. There's something missing. The steering wheel. There's no seat, there's no steering wheel. That is a completely GPS driven tractor. Will you be the farmer that farms with those? Is this you? Then your country needs you. You need to become a farmer. I have to tell you this straight off the bat. This is not life science lit, and it is not physics lit either. This is agricultural science. It is a science subject. There will be organic chemistry and there will be genetics. I'm not pulling any punches, but if you don't want to do physics because you don't like chemistry, sorry, but agriculture is not for you. We do try and keep our classes as practical as possible. Those are the boys getting filthy, playing with soil samples. We also go on an occasional field trip. This year being a year where there was no Royal Show, we couldn't do that, but in the past we've taken boys to the Royal Show where they've interacted with animals and with some of the top farmers in the industry. And the farmers were only too thrilled to see the red, black and white at the Royal Show and wanting to learn about agric. Agric is the best thing to reach college since the Zaan farm. So if you want to be a part of it, come and sign up for Agric Science.
You're looking at the vast array of subjects on offer at Maritzburg College, and you must be considering life science to be watching this video. And you need to ask yourself a few questions. First of all, what is life sciences? What am I going to learn about in life sciences? What do I need to do well in life sciences? And what can life sciences help me to do? In grade 7 to 9, you studied natural sciences. And in that, you studied about physical sciences, which is the science of non-living things. And you studied a life science aspect, which is the science of living things. Right, biology, as many of your parents have studied when they were at school, is slightly different to life sciences. Biology focuses on the study of living things, whereas life sciences focuses on the study of living things as well as all the interactions that they have within the environment. And it includes things like biochemistry, biotechnology, and the application of life sciences. As you can see, the subject covers a wide range of topics, including both botany and zoology, looking at the different types of plants and animals and their interactions, as well as the way that humans impact on the environment and the interactions that occur between plants and animals as well. Right, so in a nutshell, you're going to learn about all living things, the interactions that they have within the environment, as well as man's impact on those environment and those living things. And the next question you have to ask yourself is, so what can life sciences do for me? So life sciences lays the foundation for many different fields of study in the life sciences. Okay, so including things like anatomy towards medicine, and looking at animals towards veterinary, or the way that things interact with each other towards agricultural or environmental studies or ecology. Now, in all of these related sciences, you need to have a basic foundation of genetics and anatomy and ecology, which we cover in the life sciences. The next question you have to ask yourself is, what I need to do in order to succeed in life sciences. So basically, if you have an interest in the subject and you are keen to work hard and study well, you will succeed. But you must realize that it requires a lot of hard work. There's a lot of extra terminology which you'll need to learn. And it's important to understand that you're almost learning to speak a new language, because you need to learn new terms or new terminology, and you need to understand how to use them. Right, so how do we assess life sciences? We look at a few things. Apart from the traditional exams and tests, we have a look at practicals, which include dissections and experiments, as well as research projects and assignments. And that makes it a lot more fun because it's a varied way of assessing what your son has done or what you have done. Right, for example, we could examine the lungs of an animal to see what our respiratory system looks like. We can examine the relationships between animals, just like Pumbaa and Timon. We can examine how our beliefs are shaped just by having a look at these bats. They hibernate and they reduce their body temperature down to 8 degrees, and their breathing rate drops to 1 breath every 40-something minutes. Now that appears dead, and when you wake it up, its immediate response is to give you a little nip and be on its way. And that would have led to the beliefs of vampires. Right, in genetics, we have a look at some of the genes which have been isolated by man, and 2 of these include the double muscling gene, which you can see in the picture in dogs and cattle, but it's also been inserted into horses, as well as a gene for bioluminescence. So you get glow-in-the-dark rats and mice, as well as pigs and chickens. Now, if you combine these genes, it is possible to have a look at creating one of these. In this practical, you can see that the boys have tested using different things to water these 3 tomato plants. The smallest one was watered with the most Red Bull, and the biggest with the least. So Red Bull doesn't give you wings if you're a tomato plant. If this information has been interesting to you, then perhaps you should consider life sciences. And if you would like to have any further contact or any queries, please don't hesitate to contact us on the details on the screen. Thank you very much.
Good day, parents and third formers. I am Mrs. Cooperthwaite, the head of physical science. Every year we have boys choosing physical science because they say it opens doors. Well, it doesn't really do that, because a C in Maths Lit is given the same number of points at university as a C in physical science. Boys who want to do physical science for matric need to be strong in maths and in English, and need to be able to problem solve, as word questions are the order of the day. The subject is split into 2 disciplines, physics and chemistry. Both have exactly the same weighting. The practical component is very important, and it carries a weighting of about 20% in total. Sadly, we're not allowed to make bangs anymore. This is a very difficult subject, and it requires 100% commitment daily, an inquiring mind, and an ability to think laterally. Next year, we will only admit 125 boys into 4th form. These will be the 125 who achieve the highest physical science mark in natural science. This means we leave out the life science mark. Luckily, we were able to finish the life science section of our syllabus during the lockdown period, as it was mainly a factual section. We will therefore be able to teach the boys the physical science and get a good idea of their competency. Careers that need physical science are in the medical field, engineering, astronomy, and just straightforward scientific research. Electricians, pilots, and computer analysts need maths far more than what they need physical science. Do not make your son choose physical science because it is a status symbol. It stops being that when he struggles endlessly and needs constant extra lessons and finally fails in matric. If your son is deeply interested in physics or chemistry and asks questions about this topic and the world around him, then I would strongly encourage him to do this subject. It doesn't actually also include making chlorine bombs.